This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV. On the phone, I've got Big Daddy Browne, Lucas Browne. What's happening, Lucas?
What's happening, man?
You all good? You're in sunny Sheffield at the moment, ahead of your fight tonight.
Extremely sunny Sheffield. Yeah, it's been pissing down rain pretty much the whole time I've been here, but you know, it's nice cuddling weather.
Absolutely. What? When did you arrive here?
I got here last Tuesday, so yeah, not just the one gone, the one before that. So about a week and a half.
Okay, so where have you been? Have you been doing a bit of training here as well?
In terms of the boxing side of things, I did all the major part of the training in Sydney. The last sort of 4 days I was there. I did 3 days of sort of 12-round sparring and things like that. So since I've been here, I've basically been, obviously relaxing and sleeping a lot, but just peaking the fitness and things like that. So doing a lot of the long runs with the sweatsuit and gym stuff, but not the actual boxing side of things.
Okay. Your fight tonight against Eric Martel Bahoeli, I believe that's pronounced. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologise.
Like that, yeah.
This is for the vacant Commonwealth title. Is that right? That no Australians ever won that title? Is that correct?
The last Australian to win it was in 1892. So yeah, 122 years or something like that. I think it is. So
we might as well say no Australians ever won it.
No, of course. Not anyone as good looking as me, either way.
Absolutely not. And they probably didn't have that sort of level of tattooing back then neither, did they?
I'd say definitely not,
no. What do you know about your opponent, Bahoeli? What do you know about him?
Basically, he's a big boy. He's almost my height. And I know I've come in heavier for this fight. So I'm about 2 stone heavier than he is. So I know obviously I've got the weight advantage on top of him, but he's a big boy. It's the heavyweight division, so it doesn't take much to sort of change the fight in terms of one punch, things like that. So I'm definitely not going to take him lightly. But from what I've seen on YouTube and things like that, he fights a lot better coming forward. He's not as good like either going back or sort of on the inside. I assume personally he's going to sort of try and be like an Ali to me, where he'll sort of dance around and tap and things like that. I don't think he's going to want to stand right in front of me in exchange, because he knows I've got the power to knock him out. So I'm assuming he's going to do that. But in saying that, it's the fight game, and I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Okay. I believe the fight's on Box Nation, so people can watch it here. Is that correct? Yeah.
That's correct, mate. Yeah, it's on Box Nation here, as well as Eurosport, which goes all around the world, and it's in Canada, it's in Kazakhstan, it's all over the place. Just moving away from this fight for a second. I mean, when you fought Richard Towers here, you've kind of your English fan base is growing, isn't it? I know you've had one, but since then as well, more people are sort of aware of you and. Yeah, honestly, I think I've got more fans here in the UK than I do in Australia, which is, that's sensational. I think it's the fact, obviously, there's more people in the UK that are interested in the boxing and are used to a better quality of fighting, so they do get more interested in it. But it's always very humbling and a very nice feeling to come over and be welcomed with open arms wherever I go in the UK.
It's good because, like I said, we're all on these social media sites, Twitter, and when people are talking about potential fights with British heavyweights, a lot of people chuck your name to the mix. Like they always say, this fight would be good with, say, Fury and Browne and Chisora. Loads of people just put you into the mix of that. So that must give you some sort of encouragement that these big fights hopefully will happen for you with these British heavyweights.
100%. Another one that they keep throwing in is Deontay from America. So I think everyone's sort of looking at me as an up-and-coming guy who can knock anyone out, sort of thing. So I'd also be a good test for these people to show their actual quality, to see how good they really are. Someone like Deontay who's 31-0 with 31 knockouts, but hasn't really gone up against someone who can hit back. So everyone wants to see him and see him fight someone who can hit back, and that's me. So I'm ecstatic that people name me in the same sort of breath as all these people. So I'm obviously doing something right.
Yeah, I was going to come on to Deontay Wilder. Like a lot of people have got mixed opinions about Deontay. It's listen, it's easy for people to say about his record and everything, but do you believe he's the real deal? His record aside, from what you've seen of him, do you think he's the real deal or not?
I'm still on the fence, to be honest. There's no doubt the fact that he's tall, he's long, he's he's obviously looks the part in terms of the fitness and the quality of his, like, the body and the shape and everything else. He can definitely punch, and he looks like a boxer, but at the same time, he's also very clumsy. I've seen punches like where he's fought Audley Harrison and basically made himself fall over onto a knee because he was throwing a punch so hard. So if he comes up against a quality boxer, I think he'll be exposed, but I think it'll also be a learning curve for him, and then he'll go on to bigger and better things. So I think, yes, he definitely is the goods, but at the same time, he hasn't been tested, so it's still up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's both sides to the whole thing with Deontay, that, you know, we want to see Deontay put in against sort of the core heavyweights. I'm sure Deontay himself wants to be put in with the core heavyweights. So, you know, I suppose time will tell. I mean, like I said, people can say what they want about the record, but the record is there, you know, for people to make what they want of. So,
that's right.
You know, but records are there to be broken, as someone once said. So. We'll see how good Deontay Wilder is in time. I'm sure. I kind of think he will be the real deal. So, you know, but like I said, time will only tell. You had a fight recently, didn't you? Last year, sort of towards the end of the year against Clarence Tillman. But had you already fought Clarence Tillman before?
Yeah, I'd fought Clarence. He was the first person to take me the distance. I went 12 rounds. It was probably the 5th or 6th fight in my career, so I was very fresh anyway. He had a good defence against my right hand, and I'd actually hurt my left hand. So basically all I did was jab his head for 12 rounds and won the fight convincingly every round. So it was good to sort of get back in against him a little bit later on in the career, where I knew a bit more about what I was doing and all that sort of stuff, and pretty much demolished him by the second round, yeah.
Yeah, is it good to do that? I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not a boxer. I know you didn't know before I met you. I know you didn't know before I met you, but I'm not a boxer. But when someone has taken you to 12 rounds and then you sort of take them out, you know, in coming fights within 2 rounds, it shows your progression, a small progression there, in them 2 fights there.
100%, yeah. The first time I fought him, I was basically still training myself at that point, and I was over in Perth, and things were getting set up and stuff like that, where now I'm over in Sydney. I've got it all sorted, training, sparring, everything's sorted, so I'm nowhere near the boxer that I used to be, which obviously that's the plan. You want to keep progressing and keep getting better, and I think this fight in particular, I've shown a lot of improvement in my defence, which I think I needed. The power's always going to be there, so there's all those little things that I need to work on, you know, basic fundamentals and defence. So I think in particular this fight will show my defence work, where with the Clarence Tillman fight, it was more, you know, my balance and all those little things that I've been working on sort of obviously came through, and I put him away within the second round.
With Klitschko vacating his title by retiring, if that's what he's doing, it kind of for a while left the heavyweight scene, and we're still in that phase now where there's all these different eliminators being made up to potentially fight for whatever belt and etc. Have you spoke to Ricky about potentially at some stage in the next year getting yourself onto that scene?
Well, I think in terms of Ricky and all the rest of it, I've got a 3-year contract, and my contract ends in April next year.
Okay.
So what basically I think what they're doing as well is pushing me obviously for the WBC title. It's one of the best ones there. Klitschko isn't there anymore, so it does open it up for everyone else. The Commonwealth title itself has some sort of standings within the WBC, and I'm also on the night tonight is a WBC Eurasian Pacific title. Yeah. So again, I'll go from if I do win it tonight, I'll go from I think it's 11 in the WBC to about 5. So within 3 or 4 more fights of the right people, I could be fighting for the title. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that there was another belt on the line. Is it a Eurasian? Is it a cross between a European and an Asian, or is that being silly?
I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest.
It sounds like that, doesn't
it's
it?
obviously, yeah, it's got something to do with obviously the where I'm from in terms of the Australian side of things and all the rest of it. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, it would, like I said to you, you've had 19 fights now, 17 KOs, so you're fighting for the Commonwealth now, so that's obviously on your mind. But you know, it's obviously a natural thing to think a little bit ahead. I know you won't be thinking ahead of tonight, but you know, so it'd be good to see where you are in a year's time. And
100%, yeah. I hope to have the fights like Chisora and things like that. I think he's definitely at that level where he's sort of the gatekeeper for bigger and better things. If you can get past people like Chisora, you're definitely on the road to the proper big world title. If you can't beat someone like Chisora, then you've obviously got some more work to do. So I'd like to think that I could be able to go up against someone like Chisora by the end of the year and really sort of test where I'm at and what I need to work on.
What do you make of Chisora and Fury, which is on 26th of July in Manchester here?
I think Fury's going to get it just for the fact that he's longer. He uses his reach well and everything else. I don't think it's going to be a knockout for either person. It'll go decision again, and I think Fury will get it on points.
I think the other Klitschko fights tonight as well, doesn't he? Against
against my fellow countryman.
Yes, of course. Is that a formality there for Klitschko?
Pretty much, yeah. Unfortunately, Alex, he's getting his payday. He's worked his ass off for many years, and he's finally gotten to the point where he always wanted to be, which is a massive congratulations to him. Up until recently, he was still working full time as a forklift driver. So, to be able to get the payday that he's been working for all these years is sensational. But I unfortunately don't think he has the tools to be able to take Klitschko out. And at the moment, I don't think there is many, if any, that could actually do it. So it's nothing against Alex personally. It's just the fact that Klitschko is as good as Klitschko is.
And I suppose all heavyweights, do they need to look out for Shannon Briggs gate crashing their press conferences and media days?
He's got his ads out and a shaved head, so he's got to show it off. I think it's quite sad, to be honest. Like he's not back at that level as yet. If he wants to start fighting bigger fellas and get his points and rankings back up and then fight Klitschko, well, that's fine. But you can't just walk into a press conference and demand a fight. It's just not how it's done.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Funnily enough, you say that, Lucas. But then I look back at how David Haye and Chisora was made, and it was made off the back of a press conference that went dramatically wrong or right. You can look at it in both ways, and listen, that sort of thing's not to be encouraged, obviously. But I mean, sometimes I suppose Shannon Briggs has been around a while, and listen, he knows what he's doing, obviously, because that wasn't the first time he kicked off with Klitschko, was it? There was a media workout where there was some footage on the internet of him going crazy there as well. So I suppose he feels like he has to do what he has to do, but it's not the recommended route to negotiating a fight, I suppose. So
no, definitely not. And the fact that he wasn't exactly competitive in their first fight doesn't really help him either. If it was a close fight and it was a very split decision or something like that, it'd be okay. Like he'd won a second shot, but he got beat convincingly. So I don't see how he actually earned a second chance.
Just finally, Lucas, what do you make of our goal-winning Olympic medalist Anthony Joshua?
To be honest, I rate him very highly. I think through obviously Eddie Hearn and everything else, they're going to bring him up through the ranks the right way. I don't think he should rush anything. He's still got his age on his side, but he looks the goods. He performs very, very well, and if you just bring him on right, he'll be no doubt world champion in the future.
That's some good words. Yeah, I think everyone's sort of not pinning their hopes, but when a heavyweight comes to scene, especially after a gold medal win, it's encouraging for the sport anyway, and he's a great lad as well. So
he is, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what are you doing now until what time's your fight tonight, Lucas?
The fight starts at about 6:30. I think I'll be on about 8:30, something like that. So yeah, I've had a nice big breakfast, walked up to the shops and got some Gatorade and things like that. So now it's just chill out time and unfortunately wait until it's time to get picked up.
All right, no problem. Oh, listen, I apologise for not being there tonight. got some family commitments which I spoke to you about earlier on, but I'll have it on my planner when I get home to watch that anyway. That you against Bahoeli tonight. So good luck.
Well, hopefully catch up in the future.
Definitely, because people sort of were tweeting me before about, oh, you got to get an interview with Lucas Browne. And I know this isn't the same, obviously, on the phone, but it's kind of like the next best thing to me sitting there with you and you being intimidated by that.
That's right. We're with your Pakistani heavyweight champion belt around your waist and stuff.
Sri Lankan, come on, get it right, Lucas.
I said that on purpose. You realise that?
Okay.
Thanks, mate.
I know you're a New Zealander anyway, so you know.
That's right, exactly.
Joking. Right, Lucas, best of luck tonight, and listen, we'll hope to catch up with you soon.
Thank you very much, mate.
All right. This is Kugan Cassius with Lucas Big Daddy Browne for IFL TV. Thank you very much.